Worrying, make money. Abundance begins with giving. Don't worry, make money part 2. In the first part, we saw that a journey of thousands of miles begins with a single small step. A small decision, a small saving, a small effort can slowly change the direction of your entire financial life. But now the real twist of the story begins. Because even after taking the first step, a fear remains inside a person. The fear that if I give, what will be left with me? Imagine a man looking at his wallet at the end of the month. Bills are pending, household expenses are pending, and then suddenly an opportunity to help someone in need appears in front of him. Two voices immediately rise in his mind. The first voice says, think about yourself right now. The second voice says, become a support to someone as much as possible. The fear is that the feeling of scarcity makes a person so tight that he sits tightly holding on to money. But the curiosity is whether holding on too tightly truly increases money or stops the flow. In Richard Carlson's thinking, money is not just something to accumulate. Money is like energy, which moves, circulates, and when used in the right place, creates relationships, trust, and opportunities. His lesson is simple: give, give, give. Meaning, when you have an opportunity to give, do not just calculate. Move forward, taking both your heart and understanding along. Here, giving does not mean just a very big donation. Giving means offering your share of light where someone's life can become a little easier because of you. Giving a tip to a waiter with respect, making the right payment to a small service provider, guiding a struggling student, understanding the value of a worker's hard work, all of this is giving. Many people consider charity to be the work of only the rich. But Richard's point is different. He considers giving to be a habit, which begins in a person's nature before money. If you have less money, you can give time. If time is short, you can give knowledge. If you cannot give knowledge, you can even give an honest appreciation. Giving brings a person out of a scarcity mindset. When we look at everything only from the perspective of saving, the world begins to look small. But when we share a little, the mind gets a signal that I have some value. I am not just a needy person, I am a helper to someone too. This very feeling gives confidence. And confidence slowly changes your behavior along with money. You make decisions through understanding, not by being afraid. The same thing works in business too. A person who thinks only about taking looks at short-term profit. A person who thinks about giving value builds long-term trust. If a small shopkeeper gives honest advice to a customer, he might sell a little less that day. But in the long term, that same customer returns. If a freelancer helps a client not just by completing the work, but by giving extra clarity, his name begins to be associated with trust. If an employee works with ownership, rather than just according to the salary, people start looking at him with a different perspective. Giving is not always in cash. Many times, your sincerity itself is the biggest currency. And this very sincerity attracts opportunities further down the line. But here, it is necessary to understand one thing clearly. Giving does not mean emptying yourself. Giving is to be done wisely, not out of compulsion. If you yourself are under financial pressure, then handling the basic needs of your house first is also a responsibility. But even then, a small kindness can open the door of abundance within you. Richard Carlson talks about a relaxed attitude regarding money. He says that stress, worry, and fear do not make financial success easy, but rather reduce the clarity of the mind. When a person gives, he takes his mind out of the prison of fear. He feels that the world is not just competition, it is connection too. And connection is very necessary in the world of money. Many times jobs, businesses, projects, referrals and support come from those very relationships to which you had once given respect without any calculation. Therefore, give is not a blind formula. This is an emotional principle of practical life. The more value you create, the stronger your identity will become. Now comes the second lesson: learn the magic of non-attachment. This sounds spiritual to hear, but its impact is very practical. Non-attachment does not mean that you do not care at all. This is not apathy. It means put in full hard work, but do not imprison your mind by holding on to the result. Many people make goals, then become so attached to the goal that every small delay feels like a failure to them. Every rejection feels like a personal insult to them. Suppose someone started a business. He worked hard, made a product, reached out to people, but in the beginning, sales did not come as expected. An attached mind will say, everything is over. I am a failure. Perhaps I am not made for business at all. A non-attached mind will say, okay, the result did not come that way. Now let's see whether there is a problem in the product, a problem in the price, a problem in marketing, or a lack in customer understanding. See the difference. One approach breaks a person down, the other approach teaches him. The failure is the same, but the meaning has changed. Richard Carlson talks about this exact emotional health. Hard work is necessary, focus is necessary, discipline is necessary, but the guarantee of the result is in no one's hands. If you want everything exactly according to your plan, then life will disappoint you again and again. Because life does not always run like a spreadsheet. Sometimes the market changes, sometimes the customer changes, sometimes the timing is wrong, sometimes our own decisions fall weak. But non-attachment saves you from breaking down. It gives you the strength to say, no problem, I will try again. This attitude does not make you lazy. Rather, it makes you more powerful, because now you do not stop working out of fear of failure. When the fear of the result is less, the enjoyment in the task increases. A man focuses on the work, he does not create disaster in his imagination. A student is preparing for an exam. If he keeps taking tension about the result every hour, the studies will become weak. But if he focuses on today's part of the syllabus, the performance will improve. A creator is making a video. If he gets stuck in views, comments, and judgment even before uploading, his natural flow will be ruined. But if he makes content honestly, gives value to the audience, and then learns from the result to improve the next video, growth becomes possible. This is non-attachment. Connect with the work, not with the ego. Put full life into the effort, but do not make the result your self-worth. Because when self-worth gets connected to the result, every small setback feels like an attack on your confidence. But when self-worth gets connected to the effort, you can say, I learned, I tried, now I will do even better. This very calm confidence is seen in successful people. They feel afraid, they fall, they get rejected, but they do not stop there. Now comes the third lesson. You can make excuses, you can make money, but you can't do both. This line can look a little hard, but it is truly very direct. An excuse is often not laziness. Many times, an excuse is a polished version of fear. Fear sits inside and comes out as a sentence from the outside. I don't have time. I am not ready yet. What will people say? The market is not right. I don't have resources. I won't get support. Some of these points can be true as well. But the question is whether they are the whole truth or just a reason to stop. Successful people are also busy. They also feel afraid. They also have limitations. The difference is only that they do not let a limitation become a final verdict. 𝐮𝐸𝐿's famous idea was also this, that one has to move forward despite fear. If we wait for fear to end, many trains of life will leave. An excuse gives temporary comfort to the mind. When you say that I could not do it because there was no time, the guilt reduces for a few seconds. But in the long run, this very comfort becomes a loss. Because an excuse keeps you away from action, and by staying away from action, no financial life changes. If a person says that I cannot save because the income is low, it is possible the point is true. But even then, he can at least start writing down expenses. If someone says that I cannot do business because there is no capital, he can at least start with market research, skill building, or a small service. If someone says that I am stuck in my career, he can search for a new opportunity every day, improve his resume, or learn from an expert. The biggest danger of excuses is that they slowly become an identity. Then a man does not postpone work, rather he begins to believe himself to be such that I cannot do it at all. And as soon as a person tells a weak story to himself, his behavior begins to run according to that same story. Therefore, Richard Carlson's point is not just motivation, this is self-awareness. First, catch which excuse returns again and again in your mind. Do you say, it is not the right time yet? Do you say, I don't have money? Do you say, people will laugh? Do you say, I am not disciplined? Behind every excuse, a small action is hidden. If it is not the right time, give 5 minutes today. If there is no money, understand expenses. If people will laugh, start work quietly. The smaller the action, the weaker the excuse will be. And when the excuse is weak, confidence is strong. Remember, in the first part we learned that the first step is necessary. In this part, we are understanding that there are 3 walls stopping that step: selfishness, attachment, and excuses. Selfishness stops money, attachment breaks the mind, and excuses stop steps. If these 3 slowly reduce, lightness begins to come into the financial journey. Now money does not remain just a subject of tension. Money begins to become the result of value, service, learning, and courage. When you give, you connect with the world. When you remain non-attached, you save yourself from breaking down. When you leave excuses, you start walking. These 3 points together form the foundation of abundance. This is not a promise of becoming rich overnight. This is a way to make life a little clearer, a little lighter, and a little more productive. You do not have to change everything today itself. Just give one thing today, loosen your grip on one result, and turn one excuse into action. If you can do this, money will not remain just earnings. It will begin to become a reflection of your mindset, relationships, and courage. But the story is not complete yet. Because even after giving, letting go, and removing excuses, a big question remains: when the world makes you doubt again and again, how to build trust within yourself. In the next part, we will see how Richard Carlson explains the hidden connection between fear, confidence, and opportunity. And from there the real game begins, where a man does not just run behind money, but makes himself such that money and opportunities begin coming toward him.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business, and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.